attention.
I was distracted.
Shamase! Hey everyone, this is Joseph. Welcome to the channel. I want to share a few clips from Ken Wheeler at Theoropophysis, possibly the world's leading expert on magnetism.
We can imagine this non-Cartesian point, or a point anywhere to imagine it within your head, to actually develop a picture within your mind as to this geometry. Imagine with no feed lines and nothing that's visible, we have a spring we can't say in a space, because space can't come before the actual manifestation. Space is the after effect of a divergent field, so we can't say in space. But just imagine a point which, wherein which, by which, and from which the release of energy occurs, and then we have a spring. Yes? Like a fountain. In this case, of course, force necessitates a three-dimensional S vector, a three-dimensional force vector. So imagine a spring, a point in your mind that actually emanates from one point, wherein which the spring is emanating both this way, and we actually have the hyperboloidal geometry that defines increasing inertia and acceleration, but that is the negative image of the torus. If we could actually superimpose these two things on one another, we've all seen a sink. Yeah, like the sink in your bathtub, a sink in your shower.
So Ken is talking about the Earth's magnetic field with the torus and the hyperboloid.
And by the way, a vortex is only half of a hyperboloid. That was difficult to say there for a second. Because if you take half of an hourglass, have you ever turned over an hourglass and seen the sands create this sink as it actually sinks? In the case of a true hourglass, it sinks to the bottom. In the case of Mother Nature's hourglass, it sinks towards the thinnest, most constricted point at the center of an hourglass, the plane of inertia, the actual point of which, and of course we can't say reference of point. This is why words become insufficient. We actually have to understand geometry and non-Cartesian reality, or counter space, or subspace, or 0 point energy. It doesn't matter what anybody calls it. But the sands of Mother Nature, of course, sink towards counter space, the release of that energy or inertia. So we have to have in our mind's eye, and it has to be pictured in our mind's eye, there's not even a single diagram that I could show you that would illustrate it better. The superimposition of a torus and a hyperboloid, I mean specifically, is that we have the release of pressure, the manifestation, the creation of space. We have the inflation of the donut, if you will, the torus that is magnetism. Magnetism, of course, is centrifugal divergence. Magnetism is the creation of space. Magnetism and dielectricity, or space and counter space, are not two different things. They're one thing. As Faraday said, magnetism is the dielectric field. We have to, in our mind's eye, imagine a double-sided spring, yes, shaped like a hourglass or a hyperboloid, occupying and both being one and the same thing, as the inflationary and also, too, simultaneously deflationary torus. They are both operating in perpetuity, conjoined forever and ever, because they are one and the exact same thing. And by the way, this is actually how you explain a black hole, and this is what ether is by definition, is always in counter space, because a field is only an ether perturbation modality.
Thanks for watching. Check out Ken's channel. Arigato. Mata ne.